The Loch Ness Horror was released in 2023. This is written and directed by Tyler James. And while it's not terrible, and there are some good aspects to it, it's not a good film. Not a lot happens, and this could be about any creature in any body of water. This has no real identity with being a film about the Loch Ness Monster, and it just doesn't work at all. A group of people are sent to discover what happened to this ship, and while there, they realise that there is a threat. Apparently, the Loch Ness Monster, but it could be absolutely anything. For the most part, we don't really get a good sense of this, of the history, of the mystery. It could be any creature in any body of water. So if you're looking for a film that really explores the Loch Ness Monster and really brings that creature to life, it doesn't do a good job with it. The story itself is okay, by which I mean we go from A to B in a way that's believable. I believe the characters' actions, the progression of the narrative, while not a lot happens, is not too bad. The characters are fine, they're not interesting, but they're okay. The performances are okay. The set design is really nice. The set for this works very well. It definitely feels very atmospheric. Unfortunately, the film, given the nature of the location, is very dimly lit, so visually it's not a very appealing film, but it does give us a bit of atmosphere. And I don't like being in water, I don't love being around water, so while I'm not going to say it was a scary film, I did feel a little uneasy at times because I felt like I could be there. I felt like it could be a dangerous situation surrounding water. So there were some emotional responses, but in terms of being scary, it wasn't unless you're scared of water. But the water isn't meant to be the scary aspect. So the monster aspect, definitely not scary, but the water did feel like a real threat. And that's not something I love. So that worked well. The performances are fine. The characters are fine. I just didn't care for any of them. The location works well, atmospheric. Dimly lit, so not the most visually appealing, but it works well enough with what they're trying to achieve in terms of the atmosphere. But in terms of being a scary monster story about the Loch Ness Monster, it doesn't work. So it's not a particularly good film. It's not terrible. There are some okay moments, but in general, I just don't think it has anything to offer. Visually, okay, but as a story, it's not very good. And unless there's anything about this that draws you to it, maybe there is some aspect that you're really interested in, I'd say it's one that's probably not worth watching, apart from a few small things here and there, such as my fear of being in water in general. I don't think the Loch Ness Horror really has anything to offer.